Welcome, lovely people. Today I am playing DC again. I am going to carry on kind of from where we left off, um, but I am going to go back to death metal first because I'm going to show you those three computers that I was describing last time. Um, because I have now completed enough dailies so that we can go and have a look at those. So I will have to complete one daily with her, or one set of dailies with her to get it all up to 5, and then we'll be all good to do those extra tasks that become available. So after that, I'm going to show you at least 2 more dailies that you can run through by yourself, what things you can do. I think I have, what have we got? Death metal, then we've got doomed. So death metal I'm not counting as one of the 3 because we're just going back so I can show you a little bit of what I missed last time because of my extra preparedness that I had. So we're going to collect Miss Martian, Nubia, John Stewart, and we'll do that, the Jimmy Olsen one as well, because I'll show you that just in case we get a different task this time, because I did not inform you last time that you can play this one, turn into Dark Robin? Dark Robin. And your task can be different each time. No, we got Apex again. So it's not different, it's the same, but we'll go quickly do that while I finish off what I was starting to say but didn't finish saying. I'm not going to count this as part of the 3 because, it's just a little bit that we missed out on last time because I was super prepared and didn't think about it before I started recording. So we're just going to ignore that fact. But that means we've got Doomed Metropolis next, I believe. Then Flashpoint. And then I think we go to Patchwork Themyscira. I will apologize in advance, again, for my very likely mispronunciation of things, because even though I really love this game, I do not play it with sound on, and because I do not play it with sound on, I don't know what some things are called. And even though I quite like DC, also, I am not an avid DC comic reader. I am also not an avid DC movie or series watcher, and because of that fact, I don't know what some things are called. And I have been recently corrected, not collected, by my brother about Barbatos, who is Barbatos, which I feel is very obvious, and I feel really quite intelligent about the fact that I didn't pick that up, if you know what I mean. I have watched enough DC stuff to know who Trigon is. And yet, when I started to play this game and he came up, I read it. Trigon. Trigon, right? Because that's how it's spelled, right? And I even knew who the character was and still said it wrong. So I fully anticipate that a great many things that I say are going to be incorrect, and you can for sure call me out on those things if you like, and I may or may not correct them. But I will remember Barbatos now because that's glaringly obvious, and I should have realized that one. And obviously, Trigon, I have corrected myself after playing a couple of, I think I was doing the Teen Titans duo. Oh, no, no, actually, I think I was playing with a friend in an alert, I think, where Trigon is in it as well. I've forgotten the name of that one, which also will be very common. I heard this was on Switch, so headset was happening. I could hear everything people were discussing so that we knew what we were doing a bit easier when we can talk fast instead of trying to text. Especially some people don't hook up their phone with the app, so they can't text quickly either, so they're using the in-game keyboard on an Xbox or a PlayStation, which is very slow. On Switch, on headset, it was much faster. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So they were discussing something in the alert, and Trigon was a boss in that as well. And they said Trigon, and I'm sitting there like, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I didn't remember that. I have watched programs with Trigon in it. I know who Trigon is, and yet, Trigon. Trigon. So I know how much that annoyed me. I can only imagine how much it's going to how much it's going to annoy many of you listening to me mispronunciate a whole bunch of characters and worlds and load-ins and probably artifacts. I don't know. I'm likely to mispronounce a lot of things, and I am going to apologize in advance. So I'm sorry, but at least I know it's coming. All right, so I don't know if anyone's been paying attention to what I'm doing here while I'm stumbling over my words so expertly, which is probably quite distracting from anything interesting. But I have done, I think I did this exactly the same as last time. I did the two over here, the UV lanterns and the UV constructs in the same place as the apex predators, just because they're right next to each other and I find it easier because they're so close. And then I'm not going to do the shadow bat guy things that are purple and come spawn from giant black/purple holes in the ground, because I did that earlier for this character when reset occurred, and I came back today specifically to record this for you because I have got my dailies up to the point where I can show you those computers. So I'm going over here. I'm just going to destroy the dark robins up to 30, and then we'll be able to go and have a look at those 3 computer things. I'm sure one of them at least is a computer. One of them looks like LexCorp, I don't know, stock or supplies that have been sent in a large crate, but it appears to have like an interface on the side. So I'm guessing it's still computer, and no idea what the one on the roof is exactly, but we're going to go to those 3 and see how we go getting them completed. So just as soon as I get these dark robins knocked off, we will go and have a look. All right, return to Nubia. So we're completed those 30. Let's head back over here, collect them, and you will, I purposely did it this way so that you can see what comes up on the screen at completion. So see over on the right, return to the LexCorp cache. There you go, it's a cache. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. There we go. Return to the Batbot charger. So some kind of tech that charges Batbots. And terminal. There we go. OAN. I have no idea. Terminal. That to me seems like computer. All right. So we'll go over here. I think that's Batbot charger, that one. No, that is terminal. Then LexCorp cache, or however you say that word. And then up here will be Batbot charger then. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go and hack. Oh, what just happened then? Another player maybe. Let's go and hack the Batbot. So we run back over here. And it still says return to Batbot charge. It still says to return to the Batbot charger. All right, so usually I run up this side just because I know that they run in a nice little line for me to get all 6. And then it also kind of leads to where I'm going to go and get another set of these things. Oh, let's collect that question mark, because I'm sure I have not collected everything that I need to from this area with this character at least. So if you are struggling to find Batbots, if you look at the mini-map up on the top right, you will see white dots appearing. So that's because that particular task is highlighted, I believe. If it's not highlighted, I don't know that you would have those white dots coming up, but we will check, because we will go over here to the UV lantern area and see if we've got white dots here or not, because right now I don't have that task highlighted, or mission. It's called missions in here, isn't it? And I'm here saying task. Oh yeah, there we go, white dot. Okay, so you don't need to highlight the mission. But yeah, you just look at the white dots on the mini map. So before I had kind of a path that I followed, I just followed the mini map and made sure I did this. And the reason I do Batbots and UV first is because the other one is more sparse, so it's a little bit more difficult to collect them if other players are doing it at the same time. So best thing to do if you are doing that is group with them, but they don't always want to group. Some people like nabbing it from each other, I think, and some people just can't be bothered. I mean, it's not exactly a difficult thing for you to collect these on your own. There's a white dot coming up. Yay! So, yeah. I think also if you're like you're playing a hero and they're playing a villain or vice versa, then they try to really rush and get them before you, which is kind of funny. And worst comes to worst, you can have a look and see if there's another phase that you can go to. But I must admit, in this world, because it's not played that often, it's very unlikely, that there'll be 50 people in here to warrant another phase opening up. Or actually, I'm not sure if you need 50 to have the next phase open up. I'm actually not sure exactly how that works, but most of the time, if you go to a phase and there's more than one, there won't be 50 in each.
I am so sorry about the microphone popping, guys. I just can't fix this one.
There will likely be 25 to 30 in each. So it splits off when it hits a particular number, I'm guessing 50, and then divvies out which person or which player goes to which location, I think randomly or on an alternate basis. One person goes to one person goes to the next, and they keep trying to fill up both that way. I've noticed it a lot in DC. Sorry, I am going to have to not do that. Dakota City. So I have kind of a short name for everything, which is not actually my fault. My friend has done that, and now they're stuck in my head. It's really easy to just have the shorthand, because when I play with them, I tend to just text the acronym, the initials. I think it's acronym. I text the letters that represent the world that we're going to for whatever we're doing. So it's just a little bit faster and easier. All right, so we've done the UV lantern supply drop one, and I have got myself stuck inside a little panic ball. This is what you're looking for over here. So we're getting these supply drops, I think they're called. It will come up in a moment on the screen anyway. Orbital beacons. So we're activating some orbital beacons for LexCorp. Yay! And these are also coming up as little white dots, so that's handy, but they are much more spread out, which isn't a problem if you're by yourself, isn't a problem if you can group, isn't a problem if other players are, being quite nice and don't really care too much about that sort of thing, but is a problem if you've got a bunch of people trying to do it at once who don't want to group or who are all villains while you're a hero or something like that. So, yeah, but it's a little monotonous, but you get a higher level loot crate box. Let's find out which word I'm using. Cache. Oh, goodness, that word's everywhere.
It's pronounced cash.
Great. So now if I'm mispronouncing it, you're going to hear it more often. You're welcome. It's interesting because there's a lot. I know a lot of words, but I know how to spell them and what they mean. Some of them I have not heard and have not bothered to look up what they sound like because I don't use them out loud typically. So I guess I'm going to have to start now. Thank you so much. All right, that's the last one there, and then we go and collect, and we should get some nice blue caches. Is that how you say caches plural? Cache! All right, so collecting over here. I will say, oh, and once you've collected, get your exclamation mark again, because the next time you come back in here to do your dailies, you don't want to forget to collect that so that you can start the cycle again and get your blue cache box. I'm going to call them boxes or crates or chests. They look like a chest. I mean, the image looks very much like a chest. So you've got 3 there, and this will be the last one here. Yay! And that other one that I have is because I completed those shadow bat guys. The 100 of them that were surrounding the bat mage. So that one there when I did Phantom Stranger. All right. So let's go back to House of Legends. And yeah, I have a little concern about showing you Patchwork Themyscira, which I also might be pronouncing incorrectly. Just because I'm pretty sure this character I'm not going to be able to do any of the bosses. So it's just going to be the 4 dailies in there, which is a little bit boring, but hopefully helpful.
I absolutely need to move that microphone away from my mouth because every time I make an F or a TH sound, my microphone pops.
It can be boring and helpful, and hopefully I'm not boring. Okay, shh. much. All right, tier 6. So we've just done death metal, so we're going to do Doomed. Oh no, Patchwork is after 31st. So today we'll do Doomed, Flashpoint, 31st. That's excellent. So Doomed, Washington, D.C. There are some bosses that you can do here by yourself if you can't defeat the bosses on your own. There are, I think, 100 UV lanterns that you can collect or knock off, and you don't really collect them. And then there's, I think, 50 like robot things surrounding Giganta. So I have already come here and collected everything. You're welcome. Um, that's a habit I have. So I will start off. So basically, you would collect Black Hawk, Cyborg, Lois, John, Guy, and Phantom Stranger. So the three that are dailies, I believe, are Phantom, John, and Lois. I think Guy, Cyborg, and Lady Blackhawk are the three bosses in this area. One of whom we can't get on our own. At least I can't with this character. Maybe Grodd. It would take a very long time. I don't want to bore you. I could probably get Grodd on my own with this character because the loadouts that I have are pretty good at keeping me alive while he does his attacks that could potentially knock me off, but I don't want you to sit here immensely bored. So we won't do that, but I think that's Cyborg's one. So when we get back here to collect, we should collect everything except Cyborg. All right, so I will show you the dailies first. They go kind of in just like a semicircle. So over here is one. There is also feats in here. So I believe some of the feats
You'd think I would have learned from the last video.
are these turrets. You need to knock off a particular amount of turrets. Also, I think these vehicles are one. Yeah, I'm not sure how many, but I'll quickly go over here and get these two, and then we will look up the feats in here quickly. I'm not really trying to show you the feats, but if you're in here and you're doing your dailies, you may as well cover the things that you know are going to get you a stat point eventually. So, and I know there is like graffiti on the walls in here, I think. Episode, where are we? Legion of Doom is where we are. Disable propaganda devices, so I'll show you those as well. Destroy LexCorp vehicles, so that's one. We need 66 of them. Ultraviolet destruction, destroy the constructs. That's fun. I think the boss has to be activated in order for constructs to come out, but I'm not sure. Oh, no. In one of the dailies, when we go around the side where there's UV lanterns, I think they have a couple of constructs there. So that one might take a while if you need 222 of them and you aren't doing the boss, but pay attention. Try to knock off the constructs over that side. Then we've got 50 ultraviolet lantern devices while fighting the ultraviolet nightmares. So that is one where our boss needs to be active for it to work. What have we got? Destroy lantern teleporters while fighting. Again, while fighting. These are all while fighting. So I think I have some completed over here. With this character, I realized I was telling you about how I'm playing her without really trying to do a whole bunch of extra bits and pieces. I'm not trying to not be all that dependent on other people. I'll go and help if people are doing bosses. I will load into duos, sometimes an alert if people are asking, I'll go into as well. Haven't touched raids, aren't trying to. But I realized I am unlocking. So this character is on an account where I have some quite high-ish level characters. I can't say they're very high because I've been playing Switch for 3 years and I have been on Xbox for 1 year, less than 1 year. I haven't even hit Halloween yet. I gauge everything by Halloween because I started playing Switch during I started playing Switch before Halloween. Halloween is the first event that I became aware of while playing. So I haven't hit my first Halloween in here. And also Halloween, other than spring seasonal event, Halloween is my absolute favorite event because the furniture. I know that this is not really where my focus should be because that's not the point of the game, but I like filling my base and making it look really good. And I know a lot of other people do too. And so I like to put effort into making it look cool, and Halloween has some really, really good items for that. Spring is my favorite though. Spring has the absolute best. Every time I play on a different console, I build a house that has there's like interior. I use a manor, so I purchase the manor and then I make it look like a forest on the inside, and I hopefully do it to such a degree that once you get up the stairs into the back rooms, you can't even tell you're indoors. And I really love and enjoy that a lot. But Halloween is definitely my second favorite one. It's got some creepy things. It's more fun. It's got some ground coverage, which I really like because a lot of them don't have anything that covers your floor. I think Anniversary does. You get sand, which is kind of cool, but the aesthetic that goes with for Anniversary, the furniture doesn't really have great wall coverage, and I really like that I can cover my walls with things from Halloween and from spring and make it really, I don't know, an immersive kind of space. So yeah, sorry, I realized I slipped out of I didn't want you to sit here looking at a blank screen, for one. So I slipped out of the feet screen. I will go back in once I've got these. So the idea with these is you want to try and get all four of these people down as quickly as possible so that those three boxes, barrels, whatever you want to call them, stay there for you to be able to use. Now, so for the feats episode, Legion of Doom, as we get further back in these feats lists, though, if I ever go through them properly, I will lose track of which which episode goes with which world because I don't know. I haven't. They're not called the same thing as the world that you go to or as the load-ins, and keeping track is too much effort for my brain. So it's okay. I can still play. I just don't know what anything is called. And if I need to know which episode goes with which world and which load-ins, I have to look it up. So yeah. Let's see if we can find this. Construct combustion. Oh, no, that's in a load-in. See, I'm sure I haven't played that with this character. I've unlocked it. So you get replay badges. If you can see the little star that says 222 there at the moment, I get those and I unlock other tasks or missions that have been completed by other characters for other characters that I play because it's easier. So that I don't have to replay some things again. But I would like to do a character where I don't do that, where I literally just play it. Maybe even just eliminating everything and seeing what I can do as a soloist. Because I'm curious. I mean, I know that's not how the game is meant to play. Bleh. I know that's how the. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm getting so tongue-tied. I'm trying to talk too fast. I know that's not how the game is designed to be played. It's a massive online game that is meant for many people to play together. But I'm curious, and I do enjoy sometimes just playing by myself. Admittedly, this game I prefer to play with other people. Um, if I'm going to play something on my own, I tend to play something that isn't an MMO. But yeah, just I thought it's interesting to see what you can do without having dependency on anybody else. So, yeah, I thought I better say that because I realized after I recorded everything that I want to make sure I'm open about the way I'm actually playing with this character, and it's not as strict as I may have made it sound. It's just I don't know, relaxed play, and I did forget that I had used replay badges on her, so I thought I better let people know that one so they are aware, which means that I potentially could have unlocked some raid things that I haven't even played because I don't play raids with this character, and that has skewed my thoughts about how effective she is because it means that I'm not actually playing her and as a non-raid character. If I'm unlocking the raids with the replay badges, she gets those feats anyway, which means she gets the not source marks, stat points from it, regardless of the fact that she hasn't played it herself personally. So yeah, I actually would like to do a character where I don't do that. So I'm a little annoyed with myself about that. Um, what have we got? Defeat each of the following bosses. See, I didn't do that with this character. Ultraviolet lanterns. So that's over in the last location I will show you. We need to do that. Turrets. That's the one I was talking about. We need to get all the turrets knocked out up to 44. Source powered. What's that? Destroy source powered LexCorp robots. That is over near Giganta. I will show you those. And equipping source eyes. I definitely haven't done on this character, but I also don't like them. They look too big and very glowy for my taste. They do look really good on some characters where they're going quite ostentatious and making their character glow a lot and make it look like they're radiating light. But on my characters, they tend to look a little dark, so it's not really something that I think suits them. But yeah, all right. So there are also some graffiti. Yeah, so these I believe are also a feat. I couldn't see it in that list though, but I think you have to do a particular amount of those to get it, and these to get the feat. And these are the propaganda LexCorp propaganda box thing doolies. Um, so you have to obviously collect a particular amount of those. And in order to get them, you need to knock off the enemies that surround them before it will allow you to get. Or it might activate once you hit them or when you get close enough. Let's have a look. Because I always just knock them off if they're close enough to it. Hang on, where is one? I don't know. Let's get this, since that is going to feed into a feat that I potentially need since I couldn't see it, but may not need since I couldn't see it. And oh, there's a propaganda box thing, medievally. So we'll go over here. See, it's got the key lock on it at the top there. I think it doesn't unlock until I get close. Yeah, and then I think you can still get it. You can shield so that you don't get knocked off. Like so you don't get hit while you're doing it, so that you can actually complete it without them attacking you. So there you go. You can do it without knocking off these guys, but you will probably need to run quite far after you have done so if you don't want to attack these guys, because otherwise you will be getting hit quite a bit and not be able to do things. So, and I realize I just grabbed that even though I don't need it for my task, but I figure if I need the feat, I've collected it. Now, I did just cross between two different missions. I keep going to call them tasks. So over here where the turrets were was one that I have completed, and it had this vehicle. See the turret there? That was one of them. Then over here it starts on the next one with these LexCorp things and the graffiti and everything else. And something I like about this as well is this section is the exact same section that is split in in Death Metal, Washington, D.C. So, and then here in Doomed, it's also Doomed, Washington, D.C. It's also split right down this street. So this side is one set of mission task things, and this side is the other. So I think that's kind of funny. And then as we run down this way and head across to the other side here, this is kind of where the Dark Robins occur in there, so in Death Metal, and here it's the oh no, not the Doomslayer. These are the wrong guys. It's slightly further up, but it's almost like they've placed the three sets of enemies in the exact same place. Not quite, but almost. So over here is where the Lantern one begins, and I can't see any of the enemies. I have had issues with them spawning quickly on here occasionally, though, as I think I've expressed before, that it takes a little while sometimes for me to see anything. Sometimes I load into an area or I run into an area and all I can see is the little red target for where they are. And occasionally it's even worse than that. Occasionally I can't hit anything and I can just see red numbers flying off my character because she's taking damage from something that I can't attack back. So I just chuck a shield on and wait, and then I get red little targets and no enemies can be seen at all, and then eventually they appear. So yeah, that's a little irritating, but only mildly so. And it's much better here than it was on Switch. So because I played on Switch for so long, I actually got used to it. I got used to those things, and I got used to lag. So I had wicked lag, very bad lag, and everything taking so long that I had to anticipate what my loadouts may have been doing, even though I couldn't see that they were working. So I would tap everything in succession, move my character, guessing where things may have occurred, where I may have been hit, where enemies may have tried to hit me back, that sort of thing. And I got pretty good at it, actually. So, but this is much easier. I can play this much more relaxed. Now we're heading right over here, so you'll probably recognize this location because this is where, in Death Metal, we collect all of our missions that we need to complete. They run along here and here and in here it's just slightly placed different. So we're going to knock off, I believe it's 50 of these robotic spider-looking things. They're not all spiders though. Some of them look quite humanoid, but we're going to knock off 50 of them in order to get our reward at the end of completing this mission. So Giganta is the boss here. I don't think I'm strong enough with this character alone to do her. I'll go over and show you where she is though. So yeah, and knocking off I think was it 444 of them? I'm not sure, but you had to knock off a particular amount of these robots in order to get a feat, which I have already unlocked. I'm sure I did not actually get it, and that's Giganta. If I had a tank here, I would attempt it with them probably, or if they were damaged and I could tank, I would also try that as long as she's strong enough, which she may not be strong enough in tanking yet. I think her artifacts are a little low. Yeah, a little bit low. Before I would probably try that, but you can do it by yourself anyway. You just run around here, you get your 50, and you're happy. Hopefully happy. And I think there's a question mark behind here sometimes. Not right now, though, so we're not going to collect it because it does not exist. I'm wondering, with my artifacts, none of my artifacts are particularly high as I would like them. I tend to like them all to be over 80. I think that's when the text, the first bit of text on your artifact turns to white. In fact, we can check that because I have an artifact that's over. So this one's at, what, 69? Oh, that is not how we check. You just highlight it. Don't press it. Okay. So you can see how it's got the 1% might, dominance, vitalization, restoration, and precision. They're all white, but the tactical advantage is not white yet. And once you flick over to 80, I think it turns white the first bit. So I've got the first bit in here, white, I think. While in combat, a creature of the void will come and fight by your side. Now, I might be wrong about that. It's me guessing, and my guess could be incorrect. This could just be something that occurs for this one, and when this one hits 80, I see no difference. So, especially because I can see that the penetrating gaze is separated. Maybe that is what would activate at the right level, same level as these, but I don't think so because I can see the Void Gazer text is in blue there, and here Tactical Advantage is in blue, here Devastating Pulsar is in blue, and on the other one that I'd probably use Dark Bargain also in blue, so I'm guessing that they all activated about the same number, hopefully. So Void Gazer activated, obviously, once I got past 80, because this one is currently on 99, I think. Yeah, 99. Wonder why it says 119. Do I need to unlock it? I probably put extra stuff in there. I am not sure. If I have the means to break through on it with some catalysts, we can have a look. But honestly, probably just better off looking it up. If we can break through on one, we might be able to find out. So maybe after we knock off these 50 source-powered pulverizers, we can go have a look at that. I'm not sure if I have the catalysts to do it, but I might have the source marks to purchase them and do it that way. And I will show you that way only. I won't show you because what you can do is you can go to the marketplace and you can purchase source marks, or you can purchase directly the catalysts that you need for a standard artifact. They're always available. They also have breakthrough catalysts available for the last 2 episodes. So I can show you that actually. We'll go there. So if you get very desperate and can't get it, you can go and purchase them with real life money. But I'm trying not to do that where I don't need to. So here we go, artifacts. You can see that we've got Dionysium, quantum field energy, that one's easy. Paradox energy, though I can read those. Yes, I can. So those ones are good and can be used. Then I think in the augment section is where we find these. So we've got these 3, 1, 2, 3 are from Shock to the System, the most recent episode, which is the world of Dakota City. And then you've got these ones here that are from Infernal Kondak, maybe? I think. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and you've got I apologize. And we've also got death metal, the third city here. So the last 3 episodes all seem to have catalysts in here that you can use to break through on your augments. So that's good. And you can purchase them from there. Or I tend to go to the broker if I'm desperate for one, but I tend to just play the world until I get what I need. They're not, at least from my perspective and how I play, not just this character. I realize this character I'm not really playing that hard, but when I play with others, they don't seem to be so crucial that I need to rush through it by purchasing with real life money. I can go at a steady pace and increase it by gameplay instead, which I realize for some people might not be a very great option, because if you can't play consistently and you want to level up as quickly as other people who are playing, not really possible, because if people can play daily, which is what I do, I am on here daily, they can consistently increase their characters quite quickly. And for those who don't mind putting money in, they can increase their characters ASAP really quick, depending on how much they're willing to spend. So if you're someone who can't play daily, but you can play consistently and don't want to spend money, you will not level up as quickly as your peers. But you will level up. And it's honestly, it's not that crucial. You do want it to happen, but I don't think it's worth putting money in for that sort of thing. Could just be me. I might be wrong. This is someone saying that who purchased clearly a rainbow movement. Because that's worth money, right? So but it looks pretty. It's actually honestly because the actual movement, the electrical thing that you can see behind a character who's doing super speed, I find distracting from what I'm doing. So on Switch, I purchased different colors to match the style of the clothing of my characters. But that was multiple, and so ended up costing me more than just getting a rainbow one. And so I got the rainbow one. I will actually show you the movement. Where's movement? Oh, movement is at the bottom where I was, default. Okay, so there we go. Sorry, she froze for a second there. So this, I find this quite distracting. It's big and kind of bright and draws my attention to it rather than my character. It's probably just me, but I'm going to swap it back to the rainbow because I find that less distracting. It's pretty, but it's slim behind her, and save. And it's not so bright, so it doesn't distract me as much. I quite like it. There is a movement that you can get, or that I've got on my Switch, that I think you get for free around Christmas, maybe anniversary. I'm not sure. Called Sparkle Trail, and see that those little white lights that come up behind my character? That's all that it is those little sparkles. And that is actually my favorite movement. And if I can get that on Xbox, I will do so. But as far as I know, I have to just wait.
It's from the Extra Life charity event. I can't believe I forgot.
Hopefully that's still a thing, because I really like it, and it's subtle and least distracting. We are done! We are done! 50 completed! Woo! And I'm an adult, obviously. So over here is where we are going to go to do the UV lanterns. There are 100 that you need to knock off if you can't do the boss. So we just run around and you can see here they are. Oh, are they UV? Yeah, they're UV. Beautiful. So we're just going to knock those off too. It's like a duplicate of the UV lanterns in the last location that we were in, Death Metal. More UV lanterns. I think it's interesting that they have two worlds that followed each other so closely, because it was one episode after the other, and they're both using the same world. So we're in Washington, D.C. in, I think it's almost exactly the same map with just things shifted around a little bit for location. And then they've also got these UV lanterns in both locations as well. So they did come out really close together as well. So maybe they thought it would be a little bit easier But I will say the areas are very aesthetically different. Like this is quite clean, open, daylight, bright, nice. And then death metal, which I much prefer, is dark, dank, dirty, broken. Love it. So yeah, I think they even though the layout is very similar, the feeling is very different, and I preferred the feeling of death metal to this location. I also prefer the bosses in death metal. I really like that Barbatos, who I knew was Barbatos the whole time, I like that he's bringing out three heroes that you have to use the guitar to break the chains on, and then the bats as well that are a feat, and those three heroes are also a feat. It's Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, if I'm remembering correctly, and like I like that. It's a little bit novel. It's a slightly different way of playing that boss. I've not played a boss like that before in this game. I'm assuming it's different and new, but I mean, I could be mistaken about that. I haven't played all of the content as far as I know. I haven't been on long enough to have done that. And I don't focus on all of the load-ins and raids and things. So, oh, a raid is a load-in. I don't know why I said it that way. I don't focus on the load-ins, raids and alerts included. um, so, oh, there we go. So he may be the same as a boss elsewhere. He may, in fact, be that boss somewhere else, and I'm just unaware of that fact. So I don't know. But I enjoy it. I think it's good. It's unique and a little bit, just a little bit different. And my foot is going numb. So I'm going to swap legs. I think I sit in a little bit of a weird position. I used to game sitting on a couch, and I tuck my feet up underneath me so I sit a little weird. It's another one of the reasons I think that sitting at a computer might not be my favorite way to play games because I curl up and I'm sitting here. I'm massively slouching. So if I sat upright properly like I should, my head's gonna get chopped off. um, and I also tuck up one of my legs underneath. So sometimes you'll see me cut a section out of a video, and the reason I cut that section is because I swapped legs. I put my other leg underneath and dropped the other one down. So, all right, let's get rid of all these. I think they're called thralls. Every time I read thrall, it makes me think of Elder Scrolls with the vampires and the thralls. I haven't played Elder Scrolls in such a long time, but I'm bitter about that. You know, when you just put so much effort into something and then it's for nothing, it's for no reason. Well, no reason might be a massive exaggeration. All right. Oh, yeah. I don't think I said it as I collected it, but over here there was a briefing collection. So I grabbed that while I was there. One of these days I should just record all of the locations of briefings in various worlds so that you guys can see it, and also so that I remember to collect them with my character, because really good at remembering to do that. And I should do it because you can get stat points from it, and you can get cool items from it. So yeah, it's worth doing. Sometimes it's just a different title for your character, though. I don't know that I think that's really worth it, but I mean, some of the titles are cool. I'll show you. You can go in here and in your style tab, and then go across here to different names that can go before your character, or titles. I have the Tempestuous Shattered Shadows, but you can see there's a lot of different choices. I have quite a bit on this character, more than I thought. Probably unlocked them. No, I don't know if I unlocked them, but perhaps I unlocked them. One of the things I'm a little bit sad about is that because I started playing Xbox um, just recently compared to how long I've been playing, um, I haven't been able to get the Dark Knight capsules, and they have the Laughing Knight style, which I love so much. The coat is so good; it's the best, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to get Dark Knight capsules to get it. I think that they rotate the stock in the Last Chance vendor in House of Legends, but I don't know when or how often, and I'm not sure if that rotates in or not. And when they do the Resurgence Mega Capsules, which are a 7-cost capsule that you can open that gives you the last, I think, 10 capsules that have been available, um, I'm already past the time period in which that would have been one of those 10. So I was really glad that when the Resurgence Mega Capsules came on and in on here, I could get the Teen Titans, because that's how I got this kick-ass jacket coat thing. It's also one of my favorites. It and the Laughing Knight, one of my two favorites. I also do like the Bat Metal one. If you've seen most of my characters, you would know all of them have some kind of coat. Wait, is it called a jacket? I think it's a coat if it goes like long down your back, right? But yeah, I was really very happy that I could get the Teen Titans one, because this is my absolute favorite, and I got it in, I believe, in enhanced. So it has like a more defined brightness to the colors when I'm not using a material on it. Yeah, enhanced Dark Raven. So if I don't have this Royal Sorceress neon on it, it should glow. So let's check it pink over here, and you can see down the hip there's those pink bits lighting up, and on her chest there, I'll change them to red so you can see where they are. They light up, and I really love that. So yeah, that's something that I'm really glad that I was able to get. Oh, we're frozen. Okay. Because I didn't think I would be able to get it that way. And I want to get it through the capsules because there are other cool things in the capsules that I can get. But yeah, I'm really hoping that there will be some way that I can get the Laughing Knight coat, because I love it. I also kind of love the pants, the trousers, and the boots and the chain. I think. Oh no, the chain for the back, was that Laughing Knight or is that Main Man? That might be Main Man. No, Main Man has hooks that go on your back, so that's the Scourge accessory set. You can get that through the broker at the moment, on all platforms that I play, which is Switch US, Switch UK, Xbox US, and PlayStation UK. I think I got that right. But yeah, the Scourge boxes are available at the broker, and they have really cool boots and gloves, and the belt. See the, I think I'm wearing it. Yeah, this is my absolute favorite belt in the game. That is the Scourge belt, or Main Man belt, and I have it in enhanced again because it sparkles, which is awesome. But, I don't think I will have. Yeah, I will say most of my characters have a coat, not all, because I kind of like the punk rocker jacket and the booster. Is it booster? I think it's the booster jacket as well. They don't all necessarily have the coat, but almost. I would be surprised if I have one without this belt. It's my favorite belt. Every character has that belt. We have knocked off 100 of those UV lanterns, probably sooner than I realized because I'm busy chatting, it's way more important than the actual gameplay. Oh, I was wrong. Lady Blackhawk is the one that does Grodd or Gigantor or whatever. You can actually, if we go here, you can see if we actually, no, don't slip off. Okay, so Giganta Bounty is the one with the robots that we've just completed, but these three here are the ones that you can collect in order to go to Lady Blackhawk and get your task completed for them. Get your mission completed. Oh, I'm going to do that so often I can see it coming. Black Manta, Grodd, and Cheetah. I think Grodd is the easiest one of the three to knock off because he doesn't have anything that's too dire, not an attack that's going to knock you off real quick. You can usually anticipate them and then put in measures to keep yourself alive. So that's one I could probably do, but it would take a while, and I really am not in the mood to bore you. So I say that, but you're probably already bored. You've probably already flicked off and gone to watch something else, which is fine. All right, so we're going to collect all of these. You can see I'm getting source marks for all of this as well, which is good. And how many source marks have we got here? We have 312. All right, so it might be, collect these items, might be worth seeing if we can do a breakthrough on her. Gonna move these. What have I got here? Dark Knight. Oh, that is in the wrong order. Okay, there we go. Let's put That one looks like we can break through on it, can't we? Yes, we can, but that's only going to take us to 60. That's annoying. I would like to break one through to 80, which I don't think I have one high enough yet to do that with, but let's go have a look. Maybe it's at 60. So enter HOL. We'll see if I have any catalysts that I can use to break through from my other characters, because I keep those in my shared bank, and then we'll buy what we need for the rest, which most likely we will be able to do. So let's have a look. All right, yeah. All right, so I had some catalysts from my other characters, which are here, and the Seal of Preservation, so that I don't destroy my catalysts if they don't succeed in breaking through. We're going to do Strategist card, chuck on a seal, and see how we go. Green! Woo! We have broken through on that one. So let's... Oh, we should probably not go out of the menu that we require. Let's go down here. No white. So we just broke through on that one, and there's no white. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it happens at 80. But is there an increase in anything? No, I think it looks the same, other than maybe the health and power, which I was not looking at before. But the tactical advantage has not lit up yet, so that will need to happen. And I didn't need to get anything from you, Mr. Constantine, so thank you for standing there, but I had enough catalysts for what I wanted to do. Yay! Okay, so the next place we are going to go to is Flashpoint. This is the first... Flashpoint was the top level world that I could go into, so it was the most recent episode when I first realized that you could do this. So I didn't look up how this game was played at the start. Oh yeah, I've been here and collected before. There you go. See, I've collected everything. I shouldn't do that. But so I collected from Cyborg, the Flash, Flashpoint Batman, and over here from Penguin. Then you collect from here Sarah Charles and Oracle and Skeets. And I'm pretty sure Skeets is the one we won't be able to do by ourselves because we need to destroy Doomsday. And I'm not sure that I will be fast enough to be able to destroy Doomsday and deal with the turrets at the same time. Probably not, but if another player was on, maybe. But we will not do that one. We will start with some of the dailies. So down here in the journal, location, we are in Flashpoint, which is not, don't go too far. So I think it starts with S is the closest one. Yeah, S. So squawking out the gang wars. Sorry, I tend to call them by their letter. S, R, O, and P? I want to say P. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's ones that are quite close to each other. I will say that you do quite have to travel quite far through this world in order to get them all, which is nice, instead of having them all located together. But I say that, Death Metal and Doomed, the world isn't very big, so you do kind of travel through the world. It's just that the world is not a very big world to travel through. So yeah, we're going to do... them hopefully in the correct order. So I'll look at them. I'm pretty sure right after this one there's one that's really, really close to it as well, because I don't want to send you running off to a location only to have to come back and do the rest. So I'll try to do it in the most logical order, but goons and mobsters first. And you can see on the mini-map we've got a nice red zone that shows us in which area we should be trying to collect them, so that's very helpful. And I do tend to, while I'm here, bring up the map each time, or rather bring up my journal each time so that the map will highlight, just because I always forget the order. And when I was... As I said, this is the first world I became aware of. No, not the first world I became aware of, but the highest level world available to me at the time that I realized that that was a thing. Because when I first started, I didn't know that was a thing. You went and completed your missions in the place where you were, and then I wasn't sure exactly what to do after that. It does kind of instruct you on what to do and worlds you can go to, but I hadn't quite got the idea that the highest level episode gave you the highest level armor and that sort of thing. So I remember coming in here. Maybe it's... No, prison is far away. Overstepped, I think, is far away as well. I think it's R. Resistance. Yeah, okay. So resistance assistance stuff is next. So we go over here to the red zone here. and get these ones as well. So I'd only... Oh, wait. Queensland Elite Guard. They look like... Oh, they are resistance. Okay. I thought they were part of the 100 that we have to collect closer to the shore for the boss thing, but I'm clearly mistaken about that. I didn't realize they were resistance ones. But I've been followed by some goons that I don't need, so we'll get those. There are feats in here as well. Oh, here we go. Okay, so one of the boss ones, or the 8 source mark reward ones, is here. It's these paradox creatures. You need to get 5? Yeah, 5 of these wormholes, or paradox. I don't know what they're called. Paradox holes? That sounds terrible. You need to get 5 of them, and they will release 8 of the paradox creatures. So don't accidentally close it. See how it says B, and you could shut them down. Don't shut them down. Get all 8 first, then shut it down. That'll get you to 10, and then you only need to find 5. I have seen so many players come in here and shut these down, thinking that they're doing themselves a favor, when really you need to get all 8 of the paradox demons first, and then shut this down to get to your 10. Otherwise, you're just wasting your own time and energy finding other ones. Now, when I play this, they do tend to just happen to be in the area that I am when I'm there, so I end up getting them all without having to look for them very much, particularly when I go and do the other boss thing that you can do instead. I'm not good at explaining these things, am I? Terrible boss thing. When I go and do another 100 knockoff of enemies instead of defeating the boss, there happens to be quite a lot of paradox wormhole things there as well. And so I'm able to get them quite easily, even if I haven't found them while I'm doing the dailies over here. But I do tend to find 1, maybe 2 of them while I'm over here doing dailies. So that's good. Makes it a little bit quicker for me. And also breaks up the monotony, because knocking off these little ads is a little bit boring, and the paradox wormholes are slightly more pleasing to watch and look at. And also those enemies are slightly stronger and harder to knock off. So yeah. And I just have to get all these PsyOps operatives. Ooh. Oh, did I let her get knocked off by this guy? How dare you? I was very busy shooting other people. I hate these ones. So you're supposed to pick it up and take it to a location around the corner. And every time I'm taking it to a location, oh, except today, apparently, I pass a bunch of enemies who try to shoot my character and knock her around, and it slows me down. So I tend to skip those altogether. How many more do I need? 1. I need 1. Just give me 1. I'm not going to start a whole thing over there. Yeah, we'll do one of these. Goodbye. This guy does not have a little lightning bolt above his head, but he should count. Yeah, he counts. Okay. Let's get you so that I can run away from here. Then we're going to do the prison one, I think, next, because I believe that's closer. Journal would be helpful. I think I was on the journal and I changed it. So we're going this way to do the prison ones, which I think we pass our start point, which is just there on our way to the prison prison ones. Some people go straight back to the start, I think, and then they use that little teleporter to go to Doomsday, the Doomsday teleporter. But right near the Doomsday teleporter is the O one, whatever the O one is in my journal. I'll bring it up and look. But I'll get these first so they don't go down. If you can knock these guys straight away, it's really good, because otherwise they run away with the cash or whatever they're stealing. What is this van? Gnome? Nomi? Nom? Security services. I'm assuming cash. Overstepped boundaries. So that one is really close to where Doomsday is, which is also... Oh, yay, Paradox! Which is also really close to where we're going to knock off those 100 enemies so that you don't have to do that other boss. And where we will find some other paradoxes, so that's good. Now see how I'm closing this down before I've knocked off the 8? Bad, don't do that, but I must admit the 8th one had come out. That was actually me making a mistake. But don't do it, don't do the mistakes that I do. But it's a good thing that the paradox knocked my character so that she couldn't actually complete it. But that last paradox was also the 8th, so I suppose if she did complete it, then knocked off that 8th one, it would have been fine. but I don't like to do that. I like to do it correctly, and I accidentally held B, and I did not mean to. Right after I told you guys, hey, don't make this mistake. Look what I do. I make the mistake! As long as you're entertained, though, I suppose it's fine. Alright. I think it's interesting that the text says recapture escaped prisoners and a couple of things I'm grabbing up bags. I don't feel like that's recapturing anybody, but okay. Bring this down. I suppose I'm recapturing money. Actually, I don't know what's in the bags. I suppose potentially some kind of an inmate could be in there or a prisoner. Maybe it's an insect or animal? Okay, this is getting a little far-fetched. I know this is like the superhero world, but I think I might getting... Wait, there's a raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy. But that storyline makes sense for that. I don't know that this world makes sense for that. Maybe it's a mutant human that got really, really tiny? I don't know. You know what would help? If I didn't forget to highlight the next task, I mean mission, in my journal and run back to the start for no reason. Oh, here we go. So these will be the psyops guys. As I get further to the left of the map where you can see there's more red, I'll get closer and closer to Doomsday, which I don't think I can do by myself, but that will be where the 100 are to complete instead of the boss, which I think the boss that you could do there is 2 characters. Usually they spawn in different pairs. It's not always the same 2, and there is a feat for defeating every single pair. I think they spawn in pairs. I don't think it's, one character and another character that could be randomly selected together. I'm pretty sure it's always the same 2 together. But again, I could be wrong about that. I could be remembering completely wrong. It has actually been some time since I have played Flashpoint. And even when I had, I'm pretty sure I didn't do the bosses. I was doing the 100 because I've been playing by myself for a bit. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. And I think the last time I actually did those bosses may have been on Switch, not even on here. So that could potentially have been a year ago. So don't take anything I say about which bosses they are or which pairings there are at face value, because I'm probably mistaken or remembering incorrectly. But I do know there is a feat. You can take that. That's the truth. There is a feat to defeat each one of them. Don't accidentally press this thing. I'm staying further back from it. It's actually something I used to do, is stay further away from here so the B doesn't appear and I don't accidentally tap my B button when I'm trying to do a loadout and end up deactivating the paradox thing. So yay, another paradox. See how they're so close? The 100 are just in front of us here that we need to knock off. So these ones are always really close, and that even if these 2 aren't here, there's much many. There's a great deal more further ahead. So, yeah. Oh, get away from it! Don't let the B highlight. I'm not gonna accidentally press the B. I promise. I'm not going to intentionally press the B. Accidents happen though, so that's why I'm staying away from it. I have noticed recently, only on here. It's not something I've seen happen to me on Switch, I don't think. But every now and then, my shoulder button doesn't come up as though I've pressed it on here, and it thinks I'm just pressing the button without having the shoulder button down, which means that the loadout won't activate. So, I've got to watch for that. Okay, this is part of the 100, so you'll see it down there. See? 1 of 100. So we need to get 100 of these guys. I will show you where the boss is here too, but I have realized that we have not finished the Psi operative, so we will quickly... Oh, wait, Paradox. Let's knock that off. We've only got 1 more of these to do to get the last 10, and then we're all good with the Paradox mission. And then we will grab the last 3 of those PsyOps ones as well, and then we'll head over and do this 100 because they're quite simple to do, and we want to be able to do as much as we possibly can solo. So I'm wondering if it is possible to play as much as you can solo and build your character up enough just solo to be able to solo a bunch of bosses. I would assume so. I mean, you do, from my perspective, or at least it seems that you kind of need to have a substantial-ish amount of stat points to be able to do some soloing. potentially in your, okay, you can do this now, in your health a little bit so that you stay alive long enough to be able to knock them off, but I'm not positive about that. But I would assume if you've got high enough artifacts and damage output, you can knock them off really quickly. Potentially put shields on to maintain your life. And yeah, you can probably solo quite a bit, but I'm not sure. You see, I haven't actually done that, played only soloing before, and this that I'm doing isn't quite that. It's just kind of lazy playing. So I would really like to try that. I think that's something I'm going to intend to do. That is something that I am planning to do. Going to intend. My language is terrible today. Come on, do your belt. Thank you. So we've only got the 100 of these left to do. I don't think these groups that we come across, you can see the red dots, so you just run along here, find the red dots and get them. And this is why I come here last, because I can run across here, get the red dots, and get the 100 done. And then we're done, and we just warp back to the start, or use the transporter for Doomsday, near where the Doomsday boss is, to get back to the start. But yeah, once we've done these, that will be it. And the boss that you could do instead, or rather bosses, because there's two of them. Oh, we're getting hit a little too hard. The boss that you could do instead of this is over here, and there's two of them in a pair. So it looks like there's Terra, when their writing overlaps, and Aqualad, Terra and Aqualad over there. So again, see, if a very good combination for doing that sort of thing is a very high damage and a tank, not even very high, a damage and a tank, because then the tank takes the damage, meaning that the damage character can stay alive long enough to knock them off. So, and even if they don't, the tank should stay alive, so their life bar should stay down while the damage comes back. So if you've got the means for one person to tank and one person to damage, a lot of the bosses can be done. The only ones that I would say that's a little bit tricky with is any that are timed. And probably, as long as if you level all the way up, probably only Dakota City would you need others, because Patchwork Themyscira, which I may be saying wrong, is also no, sorry, not Patchwork. 31st Century is also timed, and no, it is Patchwork Themyscira, isn't it? Am I mixing some up? I might be mixing some up. Look, 31st Century has some timed bosses. You could potentially get those. A couple of them, even if your character doesn't have a whole bunch of stat points. I think you can get them. But as they're timed, they're a little tricky. You have to be fast enough dealing the damage. So if you don't have enough damage output to do it in that period of time, may not happen. And I think it's Patchwork Themyscira. I think it does have timed ones as well in there. It's really sad seeing all these paradoxes open up and I don't even need them. Let's go back. No, don't need you. Yeah, I know you're shooting me. Okay, so I was also thinking, some people might wonder, why have I chosen super speed if I find the electric thing, the electric movement behind her so distracting? It's because I like this. She moves really quick from having been hit. I can get her moving pretty fast if I hold down the left joystick and get her sprinting a couple of times in a row. I find it really handy, like, to be able to do this when I'm doing damage. I find the movement really helpful during damage because I can quickly get myself out of situations if I need to. And because I'm playing damage, she's a little bit squishy, as they say. She's just easier to tear down until I've put some work into her health, which I much prefer. I much prefer putting work into stat points, I should say, into her health so that she can stay alive a bit longer, because I found even if you put it in precision, actually, I may have said this last time. If you put those stat points into precision, it does give you extra damage output when you use weapons. Problem with that for me, though, is I barely use the weapons because my loadouts have a really good and solid rotation together and tend to function really well. And I tend to be able to use them all without using my weapons at all most of the time. Not only that, but if I put them in precision and not in health, my character has the chance of getting knocked out, and then I don't necessarily get picked up because the pickup is timed. So if someone isn't able to pick me up in that period of time, I just can't come back and help anymore. And I don't see that as worth it. I'd rather keep my character alive and helping and functioning so that I can keep doing that damage output. And even if they can raise you, sometimes the time that you've been down has been a waste of that time. You've not done damage during that time, and that other person who has to pick you up also isn't doing their job in that time. They're busy picking you up. So it seems like just a little bit of a waste to me to put it into precision. I would rather put it into health, stay alive longer, do that damage for longer, and not take someone else away from what they're doing. So just works better for me. I think I also do it quite early on. Let's get rid of this last one. Okay, so I do it quite early on. I like to get about 50 stat points into damage, I think, and then 50 into health, or I do 1-on-1, which I think is what I did with this one, which is 1 into damage, 1 into health, 1 into damage, 1 into health.
I mean, 1 into might and power and 1 into health. Sorry.
We'll know if we have a look. So what am I doing here? Stat points down the bottom. You can see 37, 37. So I've been splitting them evenly here and just moving them across as I go, which works for me, especially if I'm soloing, which I kind of am with this character. I say kind of because I must admit it is not strict at all, and I'm a little annoyed with myself that I have used replay badges on her. I wish I hadn't, because I'd rather see it without, but it's a little bit late now. As you can see, I've run all the way back from doing the 100, and I am here, which is the transport. Oh, no, wait. Teleporter. Wrong game. This is the teleporter from where we started. And over here is Doomsday. So this is the boss I'm quite sure I can't do by myself right now. No one else is here doing it, so we just leave that one. And I see a briefing, which we are going to collect. Yay! I need to do a briefing run. Absolutely. We need to just go through every world, find every briefing, collect them all, and then, yeah, be sad because I haven't done any of the other load-ins that get me the rest of them. All right, so we're collecting the daily. Over here, Chief Gordon. Oh, I apologize. I said it was Cyborg. Cyborg is who you collect when you first come into this world, but Chief Gordon is obviously who you collect your task from. My apologies. Go to the Flashpoint Batman. I quite like the red. I like the red Batman. You're looking good there. And Flashpoint Penguin. And then we're going to collect over here Sarah Charles for one of our bosses and the Oracle for the other. And we leave Skeets uncollected because Skeets is for Doomsday. And we cannot do that at this point. Or if we can, it would take a very long time and I don't want to bore you. So yeah, we won't be doing that now. Let's head back to House of Legends. All right, we are in House of Legends, or HOL as I tend to say. I'm just repeating that in case I say HOL one time without thinking and you guys are like, what's that? We are going to head to 31st Century. Now, in here, I don't know that I can get any of the bosses with this character. I don't think she's strong enough, but we will do the dailies. I'm hoping I haven't collected them all, but I think I probably have because I tend to do that. So we'll probably get, yeah, everything is collected. So around here, we would have to collect the people and the computers. Here we go. Here one. We don't collect those guys. They are the shop guys. This one, this one, this one, all the way around. And, okay, so you can see we've got a long list of tasks to complete in here. These ones overlap quite a bit, and you do kind of have to travel everywhere for them, or almost everywhere for them. So we will go around and do those. And the signs are white dots on the map, not the only white dot, because the booths are here as well. And for one of these, you need to transform into a, I think it's like a student. So using Student Academy disguise. Here we go. Trick shadow demons or daemons into appearing using Legion Academy student disguise obtained at the phone booths. So I will show you that. Before I do, I will swap my feet again. If I don't swap my legs around, I will have one numb leg when I go to stand, and that's not good. All right, so let's go this way. Look for white dots on the map because the white dot will be the phone booth, which you can see over there in the background. I'm going to knock off these enchanted weapons. You can see we've got 3 of 18 over there. I'm going to knock these ones off as well while we're here. And then we will go to the phone booth and transform ourselves. I think you get kind of like a uniform. I think it's in a color that you have on your character. And then your head is like a random creature. Yeah. Okay. So I think the red I have on my character, it's my second color, I think. Yeah, that color there. So if I went like this, wonder if that changes it. Yeah. So that's what happens. You get to choose the color of your uniform based on what's in there. So we'll put it back to red if that works. It might not work. Nope, did not work. Maybe it doesn't work while I am still transformed, I'm guessing. Right, there we go, back to red. So, yeah, being in this disguise will trick these demons into coming out so that I can attack them. To be honest, it's barely noticeable. So here, look, white dot on the map, and we've got a sign to repair. We want to get 19 of those. Beautiful, 1 of 19. There's one here. Oh, no, this is something else with a white dot. We've got a computer. These ones I find a little difficult to keep track of. So you know how I can tell you when we go to different worlds, this location has the UV lanterns, this location has the dark robins. This is not a location that I find it easy to do that because you come here and look, we're doing the shadow demons over here, and then just over there, there's magical weapons. So, and then as you continue on, that kind of thing happens quite a bit. So they overlap quite a lot in here, which in a way is good because it gives you a little bit of variety visually, and also some of them might change the way that you defeat them because some of the shadow demons that come out, you have to like kill 3 of them and then unlock 1 or something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's not always exactly the same thing that you do. So quite like that. And I like it overlapping, but it does mean it's a little more difficult for me to tell you which areas to go to for things. You can see I'm not using the mini-map really at all to work out where things are. Just kind of traveling around, hoping I get them all as I kind of do a circuit. And then when I get to the end of the circuit, end up back at the start, I look at my list and see what's left, and then I put my journal on and I have a look on the mini-map to see exactly where I need to go to complete things. So I don't know if that's something that would irritate other people. Some people like to do, this is my task, this is the one I focus on, and then this is my next task, and so on. But not me, apparently. Which is funny, because I would have thought I would be like that. I'm usually quite methodical with a lot of things, just not in this case, because it's just so random. And if I'm focusing on one as I'm going through, does that mean I skip all the other ones? No. So I would get everything as I go past anyway, so I just don't see the point in having my journal on. See, this is a little bit different than the ones we were just doing. It's got this purple thing in the middle to unlock, or whatever it's called when there's a cog or sparkle thing there. So do that. But yeah, I wouldn't skip anything as I go past. If there are enemies that have the lightning bolt above their head that I need to knock off, I'm going to do it, even if that's not my task that I'm focused on. And as you can see, I've just finished one. Report back to Supergirl. I've clearly completed a task. So yay! And we've got another sign over here. Very nice. And we've got, what, more magical weapons. We've got some more here. I need those, so that works out for me. I can see I need 2 more. So we've got 3 here. That one will be completed, which is lovely. All right, then we're going to head this way. We've got some more over here, so that's good. These are from the Shadow Minion one. So are they? They're not from the Repair Sign one, obviously. But see, these ones are a little bit different too, because we can unlock. I call this unlocking, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what it should be called. Activating, deactivating. It's not a set of handcuffs, so we're obviously not locking them up. So I'm not sure. We've got another sign here. And more of these guys. So I like getting all the signs done as I go, because if you try to save it till the end and do it separately, sometimes it gets very, very monotonous and boring. So, oh, wait, get this guy first. Bye-bye, large shadow demon. I think, are these the ones that are affected by the fact that I am dressed as a student? I'm not sure. I really have no clue actually exactly which one it is that my student uniform is helping me with, because I just put it on, use it as I do them all, and then head back to the start and transform back. So, or head to a phone booth and transform back, I should say. You transform back as soon as you leave this area as well. So once you're out of 31st Century, you will be yourself again. And I think the heads kind of happen randomly because I get a different one every time, I think. Um, I'm not sure if that's because I changed something on those characters, though, and I can't say that I've played this character here before, other than to come and collect it for some reason. So I'm not 100% sure on that either, but I think it is a different head each time. Okay, so we've completed that one. Let's just try and get these signs. So you can see the little white arrows up there in the mini-map. That means that they're in this location, but on a different level than what I'm looking at. So here we go. Here's one here, which makes it a lot easier, I must say, doing the little white arrows so that I can find them. Very handy mini-map, thank you. Oh, we can't go any higher than this, so let's move on. Try for this one. Yep, beautiful. I remember the first time I was doing this, I was like, there's a white dot everywhere I'm going right now, because I'd get to a position and there'd be a white dot. Oh, we can probably transform back. I think we've got all the down on the ground ones. Yay! Go in a phone booth. I think that's supposed to be about Superman, right? He goes into a phone booth to get changed. But yeah, I had realized, this is where I realized that white dots on the minimap, very handy, pay attention. Which sounds really silly now because it's so obvious. But look, at the time, it wasn't obvious for me. This was also the second MMO I've ever played, and the first one was Elder Scrolls, and it does not have this going on the same way on the minimap. So, yeah. And I wasn't like, I mean, you have to learn it somehow, right? So I had just started doing worlds, just started working out how they functioned and what they are, and hadn't looked up too much detail of anything going on in this game. I was playing it by the seat of my pants, and as I found things or misunderstood things or needed to find out, I would look up things as needed. I didn't, go in fully aware of what was going on. I had to learn it somehow, so this is how I learned it. We got white dot there. Yay, sign. So, yeah, and I think I can't remember if the sign one that we're doing is actually a weekly and not a daily. I've got to stop calling them all boss, right? Every time I've said boss, it's a weekly task that you can do. It resets once a week. You can do it either the way that you do it for yourself or do the boss. In this case, the signs don't have a boss version or anything. I think they are just a weekly task that you yourself can do, or you can group with someone and do it with them. Like as long as you are grouped with someone who stays on your mini map. So if I'm playing in a team of two and we're doing this sort of task together, we will not leave the mini-map from each other. So as soon as I get to the edge and he turns into an arrow or I turn into an arrow, we need to get back close together because anything we do won't count for the other person. So at least that's what it seems like. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what we do every time I'm playing with another person, is stay within proximity so that everything we're doing counts for us both. A lot of the time that isn't something you have to keep in mind, because if you're doing something together and you're knocking off enemies, well, knocking off enemies, you stay together to do that anyway, because you just do them together and quicker. But this, if we both came to the same sign, it would be kind of pointless because only one of us can collect it. So we would both head for a white dot on the mini-map, but a different one, so that we can both collect it. Okay, beautiful. That is all of those. We're going to warp back to Rally Point because that's the easiest way to get there, and I can't remember how to go back the other way because I haven't done it in a long time. So there we go, and that's the 4 tasks in here that we want to get done. Supergirl. So this screen, I'm pretty sure this is the sign collection, and I think it counts as a weekly. Yep, see how we got a blue crate or chest or cache and 8 source marks? That means that that is a weekly task that we just completed, so it will not reset tomorrow for us to do. Thank goodness I didn't do it beforehand like I did with other things. And not be able to show you. So that's at least a good thing. Okay, these are bothering me. I have I'm somewhat pedantic about my inventory. if I'm not opening the crates and stuff at the moment, which I think some people play and then immediately open them. It is how I used to play. I did not like things sitting in my inventory. I found it irritating and like they took up space and made it look messy. But I have since learned that I function much better if I do a whole bunch of runs all together. It's kind of smooth and comprehensive and easy for me. And then if I'm focusing on opening crates, I focus on opening crates. I work out which ones I want to take to be broken down and which I want to sell, if any, so that I can get the amount of money I want and also get the augments leveled up that I want. So I find that much easier, especially if I'm dealing with the most recent content crates, because the most recent content is going to give me high level. And I've got an armor build for this, which is damaged, and she's wearing it. And you can see I have purchased a whole bunch of the armor. I've got 2 items here in blue that I still need to replace. And I've got the belt that I also need to get in the gold. Also, my trinket is green, so I need to level them up is incorrect. I need to swap them for a higher level one, which I can do through these crates. So these crates up the top here on the left are shock to the system. They're the most recent. If I got anything purple in those for the chest, for the legs, or for the trinket, I would be able to replace these with a higher item. Blue would even be better than that one. And then for this purple, I'm up to purchase, so I would need to get a gold. But also, this is my tank armor. My tank armor is not as high a level. Some of them are purple, but not many. Not enough. So as I'm going through crates, when I get to the shock to the system ones, which I get from Dakota City or from any of the load-ins from shock to the system, these ones potentially can give me higher level armor for tank as well. So I would usually swap to tank for it, and I would keep these in mind: chest, legs, belt, and trinket. And as I'm opening them up, I would check and see if I get high tank level stuff, I will get the tank level stuff. But if I get any of these ones coming up for me, in fact, not the belt, it would just be chest, legs, and trinket, because the belt I have to purchase. Chest, legs, trinket in damage, I would remember to swap those over for damage as well, so that I can start leveling this armor. So it's kind of like a task. It's something I want to pay attention to and make sure I do right. So I tend to collect a bunch of them and then do it all together, which I think is a little funny, because I think some people would be a bit like, but why are you doing it that way when you could open them now and have higher level armor now? Good question. My answer is because I can. Because I like it that way. There's no logical reason for it. All right, I'm going to go into Patchwork Themyscira now. I'm pretty sure I've collected, haven't I? Yes, I have. I'm pretty sure that the bosses in here specifically are timed, and I'm pretty sure I cannot do any of them with my character at the level she is. Timed ones are too difficult for her to get through by herself. So we're going to jump into our journal again, go to locations, find Patchwork Themyscira, which is up higher than that. Oh, and too far. When we see an M, go down. There it is. All right, beautiful. So we've got 4 tasks to complete in here that are dailies. I remember my words. And each of them tend to leave from a location, so like from one of the locations here. So like one will exit out here, one will exit over there, and I think 2 are up here in 2 different directions. So that one there and that one there. But so we've got an arrow this way. We'll go and start this way, and you can actually do all 4 out there and then end up coming back. But I cannot remember the order of them anymore. I did know it. I don't now. So let's just find the red zone over here and knock these guys off. I will try to do it in order. So if I pay close enough attention to which section of the map goes red after this one, so we'll grab one of the other tasks. I apologize. We'll grab one of the other missions and see which part of the map goes red for it, and see if we can't get them to go in the right order from here. But I must admit, I'm not sure if this is where I used to start from. I think I may have started from one of those top 2 walkways that I showed you and headed down and around and ended up going back in where I just came out. So I'm probably going the wrong way. At least the wrong way from what I used to do. Not the wrong way in general. There's not really a wrong way to do it. You just want to get them done as quickly as you can when you're playing by yourself, so you can increase the amount of source marks and armor that you get, which is nice. I think I've said before, I tend to do the dailies more so for the armor drops and things like that rather than the source marks. If I wanted to focus just on source marks, I'd run into all the worlds and do whatever bosses that I can, or weeklies that I can, sorry, to ensure that I'm getting maximum source marks for the amount of output and time that I'm spending. And 8 is way better for that short period of time than 1. But I like getting the armor. I like that I can use it for currency, or I can break it down and use it for my augments. I find that really helpful. And it's not that bad. Like, I understand some people don't like to do things, the dailies like this, because it's monotonous, boring, dull, very repetitive, which I guess is the same as monotonous. But yeah, I quite enjoy it. It's kind of relaxing. I don't mind it. And I like the outcome in the end. You just kind of slowly build up your source marks and get through some content. Not only that, you get to knock out a few feats as well, because there are feats in these worlds that are kind of cumulative. All right, so we'll have a look at this one. Red zone is not right next to. Apocalypse, no. Nope, not right next to. War against war. Is that one right next to? Nope, none of them are. So we'll run around here. I think that transporter takes us back to the start too, but I'm not positive. But run around this corner for a sec and see. Oh, no, okay, this one was the correct one. So Apocalypse, no, was not it. What was it? The War against war. So we did measure for measure. The War against war is second if you go out that exit and around this way. Looks like we've got someone with a recorder, flute. He's playing the flute. Should have recognized that straight away because I play the flute, and I can see that he's holding it out to the side like a flute. You'd think someone who plays the flute would notice that immediately and not imagine a recorder instead. But no, apparently not. So, it looks like there's a lot of harpies here. I'm pretty sure this is the area where a cockatrice can be, and they can turn you to stone briefly. So watch out for those. It's, oh yeah, there we go. See, yeah. Oh no, it's not turning me to stone. I get stunned in a smog. I don't know what that stuff is, but in something. So that's annoying because it's a delay, you know? And I'm sure it's annoying every time an enemy attacks me, but what the heck would be the point of playing if the enemies didn't do anything? It'd be a little bit dull. Okay, collect this. I think there's a source stone or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called. You guys will probably know better than I will. Oh, she picked me up and threw me on the ground. And then froze me. Oh, I am stone. I was right. Look at that. Turned me to stone. How thoughtful. I thought that was supposed to be if you looked at Medusa, you turn to stone. Is that not accurate? Is it also cockatrice? I wouldn't, maybe I don't know the lore very well. I'm guessing I'm just out of the loop on this one. But that's okay. I'll survive. Alright. So, I can't remember what the feats are in this area. Are there many? Let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look for the feats in this area. Episode Long Live the Legion. No, too far. Wonderverse. See, this is what happens. I'll start to get confused. Recover 100 inert source fragments. So those source fragments are those stones on the ground. We need 100. We need 30 apocalyptian cannons destroyed. So that's fun. What's this one? Boss fight. Defeat 50 living statues in a boss fight. So we can't obviously do that one at the moment. What are these? Help launch invisible planes. I think this is load-ins. They say Patchwork Themyscira. What does it mean? Defeat the rampaging Hydra 5 times. Okay, well that's a boss in here, so I'm guessing this much must actually be something to do with the boss. I'm not sure. It's been a while, guys. Defeat the following. Yeah, see, that's different bosses that are in this area. That I don't think I can do because they are timed in here, so I'm not going to be able to show you any of that. And also, even if they weren't, my character is too slow, for sure. I think you'd get really bored watching. So we'll leave that. We'll just get rid of this harpy and then, yay, try and find out which one we go to next. So back to our journal. We're going to let's look at Apocalypse. No. Actually, let's bring up the whole map. Does that work? I went the long way around on that map. Okay, so that's way over there. See, that's the entry we'll probably come back in. So we want to find one that's somewhere up this section. So I'm hoping that other one that we need is going to be in that section so that we're kind of doing it in order. Olympus Descends. Let's have a look at the map. There we go. Yeah, so we'll go up and around here, then we'll come down this way and go in here. Beautiful. Sorry, I know that was a little bit janky the way that was moving, but it's because the map tries to clip to the little points on there. So even if I'm moving it smoothly, it just kind of goes where it wants to go. Yay! Oh, that is not a attack. That is a unlocky thing. Right, got it. We got some enemies coming. Woo! Hopefully these count and aren't a boss. Oh yeah, they count. That was, yeah. Here we go. We're going to knock off all the Olympians. Then we'll be able to go and do the last one and get our source marks. I'm pretty sure in here and in Flashpoint they no longer have their own currency, but in the ones that follow that they have their own currency. So you can go to their vendors and pick up whatever you want from there with the currency from the in-world play. Whereas these ones are source marks, so you could play in another area and then collect things from here at the vendor because source marks are universal, I was going to say, but not quite, obviously, because there's some places where you can't use source marks to get what you need yet. But, I didn't realize that they did that. I found out about it when they changed the Flashpoint currency over to source marks. That's when I first saw it up on, I think it was on Discord. I think I was on Discord and I saw it there and realized that's what was happening in game and was like, oh, that's so smart that they do it that way. And realized that they'd probably done that a great many times before and I just had not known yet. But that's what I'm saying. You have to learn things some way, okay? I didn't know and then I did. So I learned it. I'm sure there's still a whole bunch of things in here that I have no idea of, and I'm sure I will at some point learn those as well. If it's the names of things, I will not learn those things. No, that is not something that will happen because no matter how many times I read it or you tell me, if it's not important in my mind, it doesn't stay. Where am I going? I'm going to the journal, not to my inventory. All right. Apocalypse, no. Here we go. Let's head over to the yellow arrow. So you can see purple arrows on the map. Oh, you probably saw the purple section on the map as well. Let me just show you that. If it's still there, it'll be in another location. No, yeah, another location. So this is where there is currently a boss going on. So there's no point in me trying them. I'm definitely not strong enough for them, but that is what's happening there. Oh no, I'm back. I have to go back through. See, I did it wrong for sure. Let's get the last one. But there is a way that you can do it in one big circle and come back. I just obviously didn't do it correctly. I'm so sorry. I don't remember it. If I remembered exactly what it was, I would do it, but I'd be guessing. So we'll just go the way we are going so far. And it's something you can do yourself is look at the mini-map, work out which one's closest and head that way so that you don't waste as much time. I say that, but looking at the mini-map probably wastes time. Probably wastes time too. Wasters. I've made up a lot of words today. It's something I've done quite a few times before in my life. My brother too. I think the most recent one I can remember, it's probably not the most recent. I was young, but the word yos. Because you know how you can choose something that you chose? Or you can use something that you yos. And not only did I make up that word, but other people started using it because I started using it thinking that it was a real word that it's not at all. It's definitely not a word. Don't use the word yos. I don't even know how you would spell it. But apparently, a very good word. I'm allowed to make up words. As long as I'm understood, who cares? And my brother made up the word resourciated. That's when something had sauce on it and the sauce has kind of not gone on it now, and then you put the source on it. So you're resourciating it because it previously had source and no longer has source. It makes perfect sense, right? It makes sense to me. I also don't know how to spell that one, but I'm sure he does. All right, let's get this. How many have we got left? 5 more. Beautiful. Yay, over here. This is good. I feel quite accomplished doing this because I don't think I normally do this many. I just do a few and I'm like, yeah, that'll do. Done. As I said, easygoing play with this character. Not caring too much, not trying too hard. And yeah, it's just nice. But because I'm running through to show you guys this, I'm sure, very interesting gameplay, um, it's nice to get quite a few done. So I like that. All right, let's head back to the start. Ooh, question mark. Let's collect that. Probably get something I need. You also could just rally. I'll show you that. Actually, we can warp. No, we can't. We're apparently still in combat. So if you're still in combat, it won't let you warp. But oh wait, wrong way, wrong way. Come on, Laura. Look at your arrow. Oh, I forgot you can't go over the top, can you? It feels so restricting when you can see higher than you can actually go. All right, so then we collect these 4 question marks because we have completed the task. Yay! I will say, even though I don't need the level of armor from these places, I likely don't have it collected for the style. So it's a good thing that I'm going here because I'll end up collecting styles, and the more style items you collect, the higher likelihood you will get the full style complete, which means you get a feat. And when you get a feat, skill points. Yay! Okay, so that is everything in here. I'm wondering if I should give you like a rundown of the vendors at some point, but I'm not going to do that right now. We'll head back to HOL. Okay, back to HOL. Oh, House of Legends. You're welcome. All right. And I'll just show you the locations that we'll probably do next time. As we get further and further back, I will forget more and more of what I used to do. Here we go. BoP Metropolis. BoP is actually one of the first places that I got augments from because when I was playing, it was... So it must have been the case that Patchwork, Themyscira, and all of these had their own currency at the time, because the reason that I grabbed the augments from BoP Metropolis, which we'll go to now, was because they were source marks. I could purchase them with source marks, and they were the highest ones that I could get where I could purchase them with source marks. So I went there, collected those, and leveled them as quick as I could so that I'd have some augments that were high level. It was, yeah, worth it at the time. But now I think you would go to Flashpoint, grab the Flashpoint augments, and do that. So yeah, I came here, immediately went to this lady here because she has all of these cores here. Now you can see only precision, restoring, and vital because obviously I got dominance and might because I play damage and tank, and they're the ones that I need for her. I'm really sorry it's not loading the images. Oh, there we go. So images look like that, and obviously the items for breakthrough, and we've got some styles here. Lovely, which I apparently have quite a few of, so that's good. But this is the first place I ever bought augments from, and it was absolutely worth it. This is also, I think, where I got this hairstyle. Yeah, this is my absolute favorite hairstyle. It's called Botanical. Also my favorite jacket. I love that jacket. I have that on a few characters. But here, Botanical hairstyle. It's my favorite. I also really like the Magician, but this one is the... I think it's kind of a lame reason, but this is the closest to my hairstyle. I know that right now, because I have a hood on and my hair isn't the cleanest, it's looking kind of limp and thin and boring, but it's kind of my style. But I will say, I tend to make my character's hair black, and my hair is brown. So, or auburn. In the sun, it's red tinged. So, auburn, I think. But I don't know. I think my hair is brown, but I've been told by a great many people it's auburn, and so I have then in turn told other people that it's auburn because it does go red in the sun. So I don't know. Um, but I did used to dye my hair black quite often, and I really like it. So that's her hairstyle, and I can show you this jacket. I don't know if you're gonna care, but I care. See how cool it is? It's totally cool. Love it. Yeah, I would totally get that. And I quite the source energy aura. I think is yeah the blue, the one that looks similar to the other one. But overclocked aura, I kind of like this red and blue one. It's kind of pretty. See, I'm more likely to spend source marks on things that make me look cool instead of things that are actually helpful to me. But occasionally, that sort of thing actually gives you a feat. So sometimes it's worth it. Anyway, I will get out of here and zoom my camera back out. We will head to HOL and sell these. Actually, we could have gone straight home. We'll go straight home. Let's go home. Warp to Doomed Cove, the Cove of Doom. Actually, it's not really doomed. It just kind of sits there. And I don't think anyone who has been there has ever experienced doom. Maybe it's a very inaccurate name. Never mind. We should probably change it. But for now, it's Doomed Cove. See, so this is the manor. I don't know how many people know what that means or what I was talking about when I was talking about the manor and making it into like a garden, basically. But yeah, this you can purchase this through the marketplace, and I do it. It's my favorite. I love it. Every time you purchase it, or when you purchase it, it's available to all your characters. I say every time because I have 3 different consoles, but yeah, obviously most people don't. So I have them for different purposes. I understand it's weird, but yeah. So House of Legends layer is a good one too, but Mana layer is the one I've got here. I also have Atlantean because it's awesome. Brainiac is the other one I want. I don't think I've got it yet though. Yeah, Brainiac there. So that one I need if I wanted to get the full collections of ones that I love, because the Brainiac and the Atlantean are similar to the standard ones you can get in layout, except they have one really big room that I love, and they also have really nice, unique walls. And Atlantean in particular has like water outside. It's so pretty, and I really like it. Mana, though, is my favorite. It seems to be the biggest layout. Even the House of Legends one, which is a very similar layout to this, isn't quite as big because it doesn't have the cave. So I'll show you the cave and what I mean. The House of Legends house basically stops where this stops. So that would be it. It has this gorgeous window with purple and red on the outside. I will show you them one day. Um, but you can't dump down. You don't have ground down here to put things like this. You just have like a little border around the outside that's slightly lower than where the edge is, where you can put some things, but it's tiny compared to this. So this is slightly bigger, and I also like that I get the Batwing. Oh, and these are my armories. I don't know that I've said anything about. I have said something about them before, I'm sure. So damage 1, or rather battle 1. Battle 2. I know that this is a free aura that you can get, but it suits the color, so we're wearing it. And we've got my standard tank, which is here, and I think she looks really cool. See, always the belt. Love the belt. And then my battle tank over here. Can't remember if I've got these loadouts and everything completed. Oh, hang on. There we go. Sorry, it takes a second. If you look up in the top left corner, you can see that there's a little symbol for the build that you've just loaded into with a yellow bar that like clocks it down until the next time you can transform. That bar is really short and you can easily transform between them when you're not being attacked or not in combat mode. But as soon as you're in combat mode, that thing will turn red and it will take a while. So be careful when you transform during combat because you're stuck with that one for a while, whatever you choose, which is why I tend to not do it unless everyone gets knocked out in some kind of boss or something like that so that I can stay alive. Yeah, that's my builds. That's what they look like. That's not my actual builds. It would take a very long time for me to go through and explain everything about my builds. I know I have broached the topic before briefly, but Yeah, we're not going to do that today. I've been sitting here doing this for 2 hours, and I'm sure it won't be 2 hours worth because I made a lot of mistakes and stumbled over my words and repeated myself and had to move my feet and coughed and things like that. But I need to get up and move about, so we are going to pop Shattered Shadows to bed and then pop you to bed. I say that assuming it's bedtime for you guys. It's night for me. It's the best time to record because I don't get a lot of background noise coming in. Um, but I'm assuming it's night for you guys when it's probably not. So, oh no, head wrong way. Shattered shadows. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Sleep. Yay! There we go. Good night, Shattered Shadows, and good night, afternoon, evening, day, morning, all of you.